So, Vifians, after understanding the importance of financial and non-financial indicators, let's now move towards very interesting models. The models that we can use to evaluate the financial and the non-financial performance of an organization. So, the models are balance scorecard, building block model, performance pyramid. These three are the models that we'll be using a lot. And these three are the models that your examiner tests a lot in your examination. So let's start first with balance scorecard, then we'll move towards building block model and then performance pyramid. So here we are with balance scorecard. This model was developed by two doctors. Yes, doctors. Dr. Kaplan, Dr. Norton. That is why we call this model as Kaplan and Norton's balance scorecard. The model was developed by doing a research on few companies. In fact, I should say few successful companies. So they found out why these companies were successful. And on the basis of that, they found out that those companies were focusing on 4 areas, which we call perspectives. So there are 4 perspectives in a balance scorecard. Balance scorecard focuses on both financial and non-financial areas. It considers internal and external information. So if you look here, the balance scorecard starts from the company's vision. And we all know what vision is. Preferred future picture. And then strategies. So to achieve vision, we set strategies. Those strategies are then linked with 4 perspectives, as I mentioned before. And for each perspective, then we identify the goals and the measures. So you can see a very simple link between different things in a balanced scorecard. And if you just understand that if we achieve the measures and the goals mentioned in each perspective, this means we'll achieve our strategies, and yes, then we'll achieve our vision. So this is a link in balanced scorecard between the measures and the vision. Let's now understand scorecard in much detailed way and in a different style. So I'm now going into a balanced scorecard having 4 perspectives. So be with me. So I'm here in a balanced scorecard model. So Vifians, I was talking about these 4 perspectives. That is the financial perspective you can see. Then comes the customer perspective, then internal perspective, and innovation and learning. So these are the 4 perspectives that Dr. Kaplan and Norton found out in those successful companies, that those successful companies were focusing on these 4 areas. So if we understand the basics of scorecard first, so we'll get to understand in a better way how can we use scorecard. So the first perspective is known as financial perspective. This perspective focuses on shareholder value. The perspective says shareholder is the important stakeholder for an organization. So the business should be working towards creating the value of shareholder. We have to ensure that shareholder value creation is being done by the business. Now, to ensure that shareholder value creation is done, we need to set certain goals, or I can say CSFs. So these goals will ensure the achievement of shareholder value creation. For example, if I just start from the first one, so I can say that the first goal for a business can be profit. So the business wants to ensure that they do achieve profits. So what measures can we think in order to achieve the profit goal that we require to check whether profit achievement is being done or not? So the measures can be, for example, return on capital employed. So rows will check whether the goal of profit is being achieved or not. Second goal can be survival of the business. So survival can be a goal, and the measure to ensure survival, we can say, can be liquidity ratios. So liquidity ratios we can use here to check the survival of the business. So I hope this is getting clear. So these are the goals, just as an example, and the measures that will measure the achievement of goals. So that is why I can say these measures as KPIs as well and goals as CSFs as well. So the first perspective ensures the shareholder value creation. Then comes the second perspective. So this is a one that is focusing on customer value. Balanced scorecard emphasizes that customer value creation is extremely important. We need to satisfy our customers for sure, because customer will ensure that the business achieves its financial perspective. So this perspective is important. Now, what goals can we think here when it comes to customer perspective? So for example, I can say here, let's suppose quality. So quality product, quality service will be a goal. And the measures to ensure quality, we can say here, for example, can be percentage of quality complaints. Can be a measure that will check the achievement of quality goals. Another goal can be responsiveness of the company. How responsive is the company? So we can use measures like, for example, percentage on time delivery will check the responsiveness of an organization. So this perspective focuses on creating value for the shareholders. Now comes the third perspective, that is internal perspective. This is extremely important for any organization. This perspective ensures that the organization is having efficient processes in order to achieve their customer perspective goals and financial perspective indirectly. So process efficiency is extremely important for an organization. So internal perspective looks at the processes. Are they good enough? for the organization to achieve their goals of customer and financial perspective. Now here, let's write few goals that can come under this heading, and we can say here the first can be the operational performance of the processes. So how will I measure the operational performance? So we can use different measures, but the one that I can use here is known as cycle time. Now, cycle time is a good measure. What cycle time actually means? Cycle time means how many days the business takes once they receive the order from the customer till they deliver the order to the customer. So cycle time indicates the days, for example, the company is taking from taking the order and delivering that to the customer. So if the cycle time in form of days is less, so it's a good operational performance because the company is taking less days to deliver to the customer once they have received the order. Another measure can be for another goal, and that goal can be employee satisfaction. So for employee satisfaction, we can use a measure labor turnover. So labor turnover will be a good indicator to check whether the employees, the organization are satisfied or not.